Hi everyone, I'm John, your host for today on Route to Scale, a short podcast featuring the founders and operators building the future of e-commerce, fulfillment, and modern delivery. In this segment, we're going to be focusing in on Africa, and today I'm very honored to have Eyitayo, Chief Evangelist of SundryAgro, on this call with me today. SundryAgro is Nigeria's personal grocery shopping service, delivering fresh, high quality groceries directly to homes and offices across Lagos, Ibadan, and neighboring states. Their mission is to remove the burden of grocery shopping from busy professionals, working parents, people with special dietary needs, and growing businesses, and to replace it with a seamless, reliable, and deeply personal service. I'm so excited to have you on this call, Eyitayo. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Can you hear me, Eyitayo?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, we're just gonna start off with something really, really simple. We have to know your story, as we know logistics businesses are tough, right? How did you start Sandry Airgrow, and what's your story there?
Okay. So you know how stories are. Stories can be very long. But yeah, let me try and keep it as short and concise as possible.
Absolutely.
So growing up, my parents came together and said, you know what, let's make this guy the manager of our growing poultry and fish farm. So we had a poultry and fish farm close to the house, and because I was home for the holidays, I was in university at that time, I think in my third year, right? And they said, you know what, spend the time at home to help us look after our poultry and fish farm. So that was my first introduction to agriculture. And within the few weeks I spent doing that job, although they didn't pay me for that job, but I got a lot of experience, and I got a first-hand knowledge on how powerful agriculture is in terms of wealth creation and economic development through the number of homes that we fed with our products and the number of jobs we provided. And, I dare say that, the proceeds from that business absolutely financed my final year studies in the
Wow.
university at the time.
Wow.
So I knew agriculture was profitable, even though I knew there were still more challenges to be solved. But
Right.
I knew agriculture was profitable, and I told myself that very, very soon, I wasn't sure when at the time, but I said very soon I was going to venture into agriculture. So then COVID came in 2020, and then that presented the perfect opportunity to, try my hands into agriculture. And then I came together with my co-founder, and we said, you know what? People are afraid to die from COVID, right? So why not build an e-commerce platform for groceries, for food, for farm fresh food, where busy working class professionals and just about anybody can access the platform and access a wide variety of food items. And we have that product delivered. We provide a last mile delivery to their doorstep through a personal shopper. So that way, you don't have to come out if you don't want to catch COVID. And our personal shoppers can deliver your groceries from our suppliers to your doorstep without any hassle, convenience guaranteed. And of course, you save the effort of going to the market yourself.
Wow. 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 Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, we also know that delivery is a relatively competitive space that's growing very rapidly right now in Nigeria, right? What would you say would be, you know, uh, Sundry Agro's really differentiating factors compared to some of these other competitors?
Fantastic, fantastic. So two things differentiate Sundry Agro from what you can obtain out there. The first is that we are offering personalized and location-based food delivery. What does that mean? For example, I don't know how well you know Lagos, but you could live in a place like Ikeja. There's a place called Ikeja is the capital city of Lagos. If you are ordering for food items from Ikeja through our platform, you can be guaranteed that within a 24-hour period, your order will be confirmed, passed on to a personal shopper, which is usually a young person, a young lady who has been vetted, trained to handle your groceries with the utmost, care and prep it. So if you're buying vegetables, tomatoes, spinach, rice, whatever it is, the shopper has been equipped to handle that order meticulously and deliver to your doorstep within that location. So think of it as an Uber-like model where you order from Ikeja, Lagos, a shopper in Ikeja, Lagos takes your order and works with the suppliers in that same location and then delivers to your doorstep. So we're saving you time, and you are also getting your goods faster. In fact, we deliver typically within a 6-hour period. But to, accommodate issues like, the heavy traffic in a very busy place like Lagos, we say, you know what, you can expect to get your groceries within 24 hours. And we have been delivering on that promise for the past 3 years now. The second differentiation is the fact that the value we provide relies heavily on partnerships. So we have partnerships with major food producers, smallholder farmers, who ensure that we are getting products at less than market prices. So it means that if you would want to use a platform like SundryAgro, you want to be sure that, okay, perhaps I can save some extra cash, using the platform, as opposed to going to the market myself and still buying at the prevailing market price. So SundryAgro has partnerships with prominent food producers and farmers who give us products at less than market prices to ensure that you're saving more money while also enjoying the convenience that comes with shopping on our platform.
Wow. Wonderful. Awesome stuff. I find that super inspirational because specifically, I think you also mentioned that you work with many different partners, right? One thing also, I think, as I was doing research, that really differentiates SundryAgro could also be the relationships you have with various smallholder farmers across your region that give you access to this incredibly fresh produce, right? So
Absolutely.
maybe you can talk to me a little bit about that, right? We know that one of SundryAgro's value propositions is connecting urban buyers directly with fresh produce from smallholder farms, right? What gap in Nigeria's food system are you determined to see close with your solution?
You're just asking the right questions, and it's very exciting, right? Yeah, it's been a while since I had honest and frank conversations around around this. Now, SundryAgro solves problems on both sides of the agri-value chain. So we solve problem on both the supply side and on the demand side. It's a challenging problem, but we are finding a way around it. Now, on the supply side, over 38 million smallholder farmers are struggling with access to market. So take, for example, a palm oil farmer or a tomato farmer. He has worked his ass off, for months. Now his product is ready for harvest, and voila, it's crickets, because they do not have access to market. Within a couple of days, the tomato is getting bad, the plantain is getting overripe,
right,
the palm oil is sitting ducks, and there is no hope. Now, the best the farmer can hope for is that an aggregator, an off-taker, looks kindly upon him and gets that product at way less, because now the farmer is desperate. Right? He's desperate to sell, right? And now he has to sell at a ridiculously low price. So SundryAgro is solving lack of access to market for smallholder farmers. On our e-commerce platform, we have built a vendor platform, a vendor dashboard, where as a food producer, as a farmer, you can list your products on our platform, manage your dashboard, manage your inventory, manage your sales, right? And ensure that we are connecting you directly to the people that need it, which includes individual buyers, corporate buyers, institutional buyers, and also even buyers in the diaspora market. So we have Nigerians in the diaspora who also want to get, because Nigerians are craving for their local foods at home as well. So on the supply side, smallholder farmers get to have, a faster access to market, thereby improving their income and livelihoods. And on the demand side, individual consumers are able to access quality farm fresh food conveniently at less than market prices.
Wow. So awesome. I think, like I mentioned, you're definitely doing something incredibly ambitious, but very innovative.
Thank you.
So, one thing that is unique, as you've mentioned, is the quality of fresh foods. Fresh foods is amazing, but it's also very unforgiving kind of business, as you mentioned. It can spoil very, very easily. Um,
That's right.
how do you think about logistics and operations? How does selling perishables really change everything about how you run your operations compared to, let's just say, ordinary forms of delivery, like delivering parcels or whatnot?
All right. So, because of the delicate nature of farmed fresh food, it has to be delivered almost immediately to preserve the quality and freshness. Now, a key aspect of our business model is the fact that we do not hold any product inventory, right? So we do not have like a large warehouse where we store farm fresh produce, and it's deliberate because a couple of years back, I'm sure you've heard of a company called Jumia Food.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, they ventured into this same, farm fresh food delivery space,
Yes.
right? And while the Jumia marketplace itself is still operational, Jumia Food specifically is no longer operational because it just costs so much in terms of overhead and recurring expenditure to manage a farm fresh food business. But we are telling ourselves we are a startup. We don't even have a lot of cash to tie down doing warehousing. So what we did is partner with suppliers, food producers, and connect them to the consumers so that the risk of spoilage of the farm fresh food produce is eliminated from our end. And all we are guaranteeing is convenience, smooth delivery, right? Convenience, smooth delivery, and access to products at less than market prices. So the farmers and the producers, I wish them the best of luck as they worry about how to keep the food fresh enough for our consumers to be able to buy.
Right.
But we don't worry about that. We just want to help you sell. If your product is good and you are positioned well on our platform, we will help you sell.
Understand. Wow. Amazing. So maybe to help us understand a bit of the operational side of things, we know that logistics is a messy business, especially something like I said, delivering fresh produce. I can imagine even more so, right? Um, how do you think about your operations in terms of things such as aggregation, maybe of different smallholder farmer supplies, or keeping the quality consistent?
Okay, so we have different clusters of farmers that we work with. Some are in the north, some are in the southwest. And of course, like I said, the platform is not just open to smallholder farmers, but food processors, food producers, people that convert the raw food into a more processed and marketable product. So we have within the first week of us launching our vendor platform, we had a wait list of over 200
Wow.
farmers and food producers
Wow.
just within a week of launching the platform.
Wow.
Now, we engage them from time to time to understand what they need in terms of how we can serve them, how we can improve, how we can help them, improve their own side of the business. We gather data a lot. SundryAgro cannot do it alone. We have millions and millions of smallholder farmers in Nigeria. But our own goal is to ensure that the few we have been able to onboard, we are offering them the best service. And now we are even we have moved a little bit into agri-financing, where we are offering farmers, food retailers, food producers with a line of credit to ensure that they are constantly producing and they have access to products to sell. So we have moved. So apart from just providing a platform, we are moving a little bit into agri-financing, and we have agencies like the Bank of Industry, offering us a credit line to be able to better serve these farmers, in their respective communities.
Wow. Wonderful. So you mentioned still that when someone orders something, you have a 6 to 24 hour kind of delivery commitment, right? We also know, Lagos's traffic and everything is crazy, right? It's a growing city. It's bustling,
Yeah.
What makes what makes this logistical operations at times operationally difficult, right? From cold chain to timing to addressing maybe and traffic.
Yeah. So the thing is, logistics is not just logistics is the unreliability and unpredictability that makes logistics such a huge challenge, especially in Nigeria. Logistics companies are totally unreliable. Totally. You even though yes, they might do well, tomorrow you are literally at their mercy because of a whole lot of things that are outside of your control. I would advise that as an e-commerce platform coming to play in the Nigerian space, if you have the upfront capital to invest in your own logistics, fantastic. Go ahead and make that upfront commitment. But for us at SundryAgro, we don't even rely on third-party logistics companies. We rely on personal shoppers. Now, these personal shoppers work with the local, will I say, transportation, resources available. So they use for large orders, we can use a truck. We outsource our logistics. So far, so good. I would say that my experience with logistics companies in terms of rating, I would say is about, to be fair, is about 75 to 80%. But that does not mean that the challenges are not there. I have just been able to establish, a good relationship with logistic companies, and also to pick the best out of the several logistic companies that I work with. So I have been pretty fortunate to work with really good logistics companies that understand our business model and are able to deliver timely. So the shoppers live within the same location as where the customer is ordering from. So it even makes access delivery faster. So it's like, what are the options of what we do? We have a lot of plans. We make a lot of plans. Plan A is that we work with the logistic company. If that doesn't work, the personal shopper can, if necessary, use a local transportation like a tricycle to get there, because the shopper is already within the same geographical location as the customer.
Sorry, what is what is a shopper? Is it the same as a customer, or is a shopper
No, no, no,
the delivery
no, no.
rider?
So it's more or less like like an errand person.
Ah, okay.
So like a personal shopper. I know usual personal shopping is more or less like a service where someone does your errands for you. Someone takes your errands for you because you are busy. You are a tech founder, or you are a full-time entrepreneur, or full-time whatever it is that is taking your time so much, and you cannot have the time to do groceries yourself. A personal shopper does your groceries for you.
I see. I see. Wow. Wow. Very, very,
Yes.
very, very
So that is
awesome.
what I meant by personal shopper. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Um, but once again, we also do know that while Lagos is growing massively, one of them that drawbacks is that not every parts of it are mapped, in the most accurate or in the best way, as we all know, right? What role does routing, mapping, or location accuracy play in getting fresh food to a customer's door before it starts to deteriorate?
Okay, so the when it comes to yeah, I mean, Lagos has will I say, has done significant work in terms of capturing most of the major areas that surround Lagos, even though it's not 100% accurate, like you have said, which is why we do not. So we're not. So even as much as SundryAgro has covered much ground, we have not covered the entire Lagos state.
I see.
So we have not covered the entire. For example, Lagos is gradually extending even beyond Lekki, or
Yeah.
even Ajah, even all the way down to Epe. You know, that's on
It's
the island
growing.
side,
It's growing.
and then on the mainland side rather, you have Ikorodu, even bordering down to Ogun State. So those areas are rapidly developing areas that SundryAgro is not yet able to reach, right? So if a customer reaches out to us and says, you know what, we want you to come deliver food items to those areas, we would respectfully decline, unfortunately, because we have
Ah,
not built, yes, we have not built structure or resources around that area to serve that customer. But
right.
yes, as Lagos is expanding, we are also growing and seeing how we can capture more people, outside the regular areas that the GPS or the location technology can cover. So yeah, I would say we're still growing into those new markets.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the key things, if you can share, right, is always unit economics, and affordability for delivery services, right? You know, what would it take then for your specific model to work on a unit economics, kind of level, right? Like for example, how many deliveries are you starting to get into right now, on a weekly basis, I say, and how many do you plan to get to start to make a lot of this economics work?
Fantastic. So on a typical day, we usually would have between, you know 10 to 15 orders.
Okay.
10 to 15 orders. Let's just say 10 orders. Average of 10 orders per day.
Okay.
Right? Now, some days we can have less than 10, but some other days we can have more than 10. But at the end of the day, the average comes to about 10.
Okay.
About 10 orders, per day. Now, out of when an order comes, right, there's a lot of revenue allocation. So there's the bulk of the monies or the inflows we receive is attributed to the cost of the product itself. So the cost of products takes a substantial part of what has been paid for by the customer. Let me just say about 80% of that cost goes to cost of product, while cost of goods, while 20% is essentially the cost of logistics, the cost of paying the personal shopper that has run.
Hello, 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 hello. Oh, oh,
Yeah,
Eyitayo, I think you're
sorry.
back. It's all good.
Yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I got a disruption. So
It's okay.
yeah, so 20% is we have 20% to share amongst the company, the personal shoppers, and the cost of logistic transportation. So in terms of what comes to us, we would say that we get about 10 to 12 of the total cost of goods sold, right? Which is gradually helping us to, cover our operations, while the remaining 8% is shared and the logistics companies. So we're already getting closer to a break even, and I'm confident that by the end of this year, we will have hit our break even, and now we can now begin to scale. But right now, because we are in between a lot of product development, and also trying to just ensure that the numbers add up, being very careful with how we spend money. But the unit economics is looking very good, very good. And by December, we will, get to the point where, by the way, we've told ourselves that by the end of the year, we will start paying our shareholders dividends.
Wow.
So for us to be able to say that, it means that we are very, very positive about what our business will look like by the end of the year.
Wow.
So I don't know if I was able to answer your question
Yeah.
properly.
Would you say that each of your deliveries, so you're mentioning you have about 10, so I'll say about maybe 70 to 80 in a week, right? Would you say each of your deliveries is pretty high volume, or will they be more smaller ticket deliveries, or are they do customers usually order in bulk these fresh produce?
Yeah, absolutely. So a majority of that volume I just mentioned
Yeah.
is comes from institutions, corporate
Ah,
buyers, yeah, B2Bs, because those are the kind of transactions that would lead to our business sustainability, to be honest.
I see. Okay, so you don't really target consumers. You're all targeting businesses primarily.
So we do target. In fact, SundryAgro started as a B2C,
Right.
but scaling was so slow under
Right.
the B2C model.
Right.
It was so slow.
Okay.
So we decided to pivot to B2B, even though we still serve B2C, but a greater percentage of our sales come from B2B.
I see. And are these companies pretty repeat buyers? Are they like hotels, or what sort of companies are
Absolutely.
buying your produce? Yeah.
So we have corporate organizations in the oil and gas financial services space who have cooperatives. There's something called a cooperative. So each company has a cooperative. The cooperative takes care of the welfare of their employees. So they are
Ah,
concerned with the food, the groceries they get on a monthly basis. So we work with the cooperatives in those organizations, right? So we have that on one side. We also have food retailers. So these are people that want to buy products from us
right.
at wholesale due to our exclusive partnerships with manufacturers,
Right.
and they then want to resell to their own customers. So
Oh, I
so
see.
so yeah. So we have so those are most. So that's what our B2B transaction covers mostly.
Got it. Got it. Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. And you know, one of the key things that we also found was that you just in the last few months, right, got trademarked and also FDA registered, right? Being a pretty strong milestone for you as a food business. Why did that matter, and why did some of those certifications, what did they unlock for your business?
Oh yeah, so that was a huge challenge, brother. Those two certifications were really huge challenges. Getting a trademark in Nigeria takes anywhere from 6 to 18 months, right?
Wow.
Um, Now we got trademarked because we wanted to get a NAFDAC certification. So I don't know if you've heard of NAFDAC, but NAFDAC is the National Agency for Food and Drugs
Oh, okay.
in Nigeria.
Okay.
NAFDAC, yeah. So we're not just providing access to market for food producers and retailers. We are also involved in agri-product. We are also producers ourselves. So we have been dealing in the production and distribution of oven-dried catfish for a while now. But we
Oh.
wanted to be able to penetrate. Yes, we have been. In fact, that was how SundryAgro started. Remember, I told you about managing my parents' poultry and fish business.
Right, right.
So I already had knowledge and experience with running a catfish business.
Ah,
So when I started my business, what I naturally started with was oven dried catfish,
okay.
the production and the processing of oven dried catfish. So we wanted the catfish to be able to enter into supermarkets and stores. So we knew that we needed a NAFDAC certification. Now, in order to get a NAFDAC certification, you need to have your business trademarked. So for us, we had to do the trademark first, then applied for the NAFDAC certification. And because of that, our product is now in three major stores in Lagos and growing, right? So if you ask me, what has the trademark unlocked? It has unlocked access to market for the products that we personally produce, right? Which has also, created a new revenue stream for us, right? Now for the FDA, of course, you already know what an FDA is, right? But yeah, FDA was a certification we needed to be able to help, food producers locally to export to markets like the United States. Because before you can export into the United States, you need a US FDA certification. So with the certification in hand, it is easier for us to get products from Nigeria into the international market, easily without any, any returns or any issues. So those are the two key advantages that the certifications have done for us.
I see. So what is your, I guess, split between serving your domestic market and now your international market? So it means you may have some products as well that selling well in the international markets.
So for now, we are heavily focused on the local market.
Okay.
So getting the FDA and all the other certifications those are steps towards export readiness. Okay. So we have not started, SundryAgro has not started exporting in large commercial quantities yet.
Right.
There's still a whole lot of, will I say, processes that needs to be done and structures that needs to be placed, that needs to be in place to start exporting big time, right? You need to have partnerships even in the destination country that you want to export to. You must have people who are working with you to ensure that your products does not get rejected when it gets to the port of entry, right? You must also have certifications here in Nigeria with the NEPC. You need knowledge, about the export protocols, the payment terms. There's a whole lot you need to know about exporting. So yeah, I would say for now we are very, very focused on the local market. So I would say about 90% of our business is still local. Just about 10% is international for now, because we do not want to scale too fast and then lose out on key knowledge that we should have gotten, and so that we don't make unnecessary mistakes, because we want to export. But yeah, we are positioning ourselves to start exporting pretty soon. And yeah, but even when we do position ourselves, I dare say that maybe our export business would maybe climb a little bit to about maybe 30-35%, but majority of our revenues will still be local. Will
Okay.
still be local.
Wow. Wow. I know we're actually coming to the last few questions here, so thank you so much once again for your time. Um, uh, I just want to tap on this a little bit because you call yourself a chief evangelist, which is a very interesting job title. Can you share with our
I
audience
thought
a
you
little
had
bit of that, a little about that?
I thought you had forgotten about that, bro.
No, 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 I don't forget.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, if you're on LinkedIn, you have a lot of people saying, oh, founder of this, founder of that, co-founder of this, co-founder of that. Right. And I just said to myself, you know what? Instead of doing what is conventional, why don't you be a little bit unconventional? Right. So, chief evangelist simply means chief promoter.
Hmm.
I am the chief promoter of my business. And from someone who, who has a very solid background in sales, marketing, and business development, I pride myself as a chief evangelist. So even though it might sound like a religious word, but yeah, it is just to say that I am the responsibility of promoting my business rests squarely with me first before anybody else.
Wow.
All right. So that's just the simple and short explanation of that.
Wow, wow. And as I was also researching to some of your posts, you consistently attribute to a lot of your already amazing successes and whatnot to your faith as well. Would you like to share a little bit about that, especially how you intertwine maybe your faith and a lot of the amazing work that you do?
Thank you. So yeah, I want to put it out there that I am a faith-driven entrepreneur. I am a faith-driven entrepreneur, and everything that I have done, even though as a business person, is for profit, but at the same time also is for impact, right? Um, in the 3 short years that SundryAgro has been in existence, we have been able to support over 40 people with meaningful and put food on the table by providing meaningful employment for over 40 young people.
Wow,
So that's over 40 people taken off the streets and earning directly from the activities of our business,
wow,
right? We have also supported over 100 food producers and smallholder farmers in Nigeria at the same time. And for me, impact, what is faith without impact? Your faith has to be translated into the Bible, which is the constitution that I follow every day of my life as a Christian, says faith without works is dead. So if you are a person of faith and you believe in what you're doing, your belief must translate into actions that create meaningful impact. And as long as you are creating meaningful impact with whatever it is you're doing, you are a person of faith and you are doing the work, of your creator. So yes, I'm a faith-driven entrepreneur, and I don't want to go so much into the whole Bible and God, conversation, because I know we are pressed for time. But yeah, if you want to engage me more about my faith, yeah, I'm happy to have a call again, and I can dive deeper.
absolutely. Well, I'm also a faith-driven entrepreneur, so that makes two of us. It's wonderful. Um, we are getting to the end, so I just have two last questions for you that we're gonna get through for today. Um, so Sundry, like I said, it's growing growing amazingly, and you're onto such amazing things, right? What is the biggest operational challenge for SundryAgro right now, and how do you look? How do you look to solve that?
That's a great question, to be honest. Operationally, I have to be honest with you. At this point, I still feel like I am I am even though yes, I have a great team that I'm working with, but I need I need my team to operate and deliver at the highest level. And in order to achieve that, I need to take myself out of the picture and get an operations person. So right now, the greatest need I have right now is an operational and a head of operations that would drive that productivity to the highest level that I want it to go, right? Because our competitors are not sleeping, they are innovating fast. We are a small business, even though yes, we haven't attracted investor funding, but we're not doing so badly. So if we are going to compete with with those who have gotten investor funding and all that, we need to execute fast, real fast, right? And that is where I need an operations person to come in and drive that smooth, fast execution. But getting an operations person is not cheap. So it's not cheap,
Nothing,
right?
nothing
It's not
good.
because I don't
Nothing good is ever cheap.
absolutely. I know. I agree. I totally agree. Right. Which is why
But it's
I'm
often
I'm
worth it.
just
But it's often worth it. If they can
it
charge that
it
amount.
it, it, it 100% of the time it does. But yeah, I'm already speaking to a couple of people and seeing how we can work things out, because that for me that's my just faster execution. I don't want lethargy in my business, and I believe that an operations executive will be able to drive that upward growth that I'm hoping to achieve.
Yeah. Are you looking to try and fundraise maybe in the next phase of growth as well as part of that?
Yes,
Mm,
yes.
mm.
Even though yes, we have been recipients of a couple of grant
Right.
funding
I think I found
already.
that.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Yeah.
yes. We've been recipients of grant funding over the past couple of years. But for the scale we are looking to get into, yes, we do it. We welcome external equity investors, right? But beyond the funding, we need someone who can provide us with industry, can make industry connections for us, understands the agriculture space, right? And can provide relevant and useful insights beyond cash to take our business forward. So yeah, we are open to having conversations with investors who meet these key criteria that I've just mentioned.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Time flies when you're having fun. We're at our last question for the day.
Oh, please don't
You
don't
know.
tell me that we're about to end this.
Right, I'm having too much fun. Like I said, I was so excited for that. I hope you can see. I have too many questions I want to ask, but unfortunately, we also have to stick to our commitment to make short, awesome podcasts. So this is our last question. To all the aspiring entrepreneurs and builders trying to build amazing last mile or delivery logistics businesses in Africa, if you could impart one piece of advice, what would you give to some of these other founders trying to build the future of agriculture and logistic businesses in Africa?
you know, whenever I come to this question, I feel inadequate in a way to offer advice, because I am also looking for advice. But you've put me in a very, very difficult position right now, and I know I have to answer your question.
Right, right.
Okay, so if there is anything I would say for aspiring agripreneurs, it is that you need to sit down and identify what the pain point or the problem you're trying to solve is. You need to sit down and say, okay, this is exactly, you cannot afford to be confused about what the problem, because the agri value chain is filled, there's still a whole, you look, as population is increasing in the world, so is the need for food, right?
Absolutely.
So we can never run out of innovation as far as agriculture, food systems is concerned. But you sit down and say, out of the multitude of problems that we are trying to solve in agriculture, say which one resonates with me the most, and it shouldn't be because of maybe the economic gain that is present, but it has to connect with your heart, because agriculture is very challenging. I am telling you, agriculture is very challenging. And if you are riding solely on just the financial benefits you get, you are going to burn out. You are going to burn out within the shortest possible time, because agriculture, that is why a lot of founders like myself in the agri space are constantly agitating for patient capital. Why do you think we agitate for patient capital in the agricultural space? Because agriculture is patient.
You can't control nature.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You can't control. I mean, take for example a palm oil business. It takes about 3 to 4 years for you to start getting results, or should I say, getting gains from a palm oil plantation. So the question you should ask yourself is, if you want to innovate in the palm oil business, then you ask yourself, am I ready to wait for 4 years? 4 years without nothing but just pumping effort, pumping time, pumping money? That's the question. So do your due diligence, understand the value chain or the area that you want to get into very well, and be sure that it is not just because, there is so much money, and then, I think, okay, this is the next space for me. No, you need to connect with your heart needs to be connected to it, and you must already see in your mental mind the impact that it will have, not just on yourself, but the people around you.
Wow.
So that's all I was saying. I think I've said a lot.
Wow.
I've said a lot of things.
That's okay. That's okay. Focus on the impact you have on the people around you. I think that's a really strong final statement. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wrap up this podcast. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really enjoyed it. That's it for today, everyone. This is John, here hosting you on Route to Scale for today. And this is Eyitayo, really representing his awesome business, SundryAgro. Watch out for them.
My name so well.
They're definitely gonna be growing a lot bigger very, very soon. Thank you so much for your time, everyone.